Good afternoon, Local 685. I apologize for taking so long to get this podcast put together, but things are changing not only daily, but hourly, it seems like. So one of the things I want to start with, and I'm going to turn it over to the Vice President, Jerry Price. He's going to cover some of the questions that we've received concerning the sub.
Good afternoon, everybody, and I hope everybody's healthy and safely at home. And first of all, I'd like to give a shout out really to our caravan workers and our McClellan workers and our trades and our people that have been working in the plants. They've been busting their butts to get this plant safe and clean for all of us to return in here in the near future. Like Rick said, there's been a lot of things about the sub, and with the help of the benefit people and some people, it changes by the hour, by the day. The people's done a very good job. I know there's a lot of questions of the people, especially in KTP, has never had an opportunity for a long time to sign up for unemployment. It's kind of complicated. Hopefully now, after a month in, very unfortunate we're still off, but a month in, hopefully people are starting to get the hang of it with the unemployment. And now with the 600 add-on, as they're calling it, a lot of people now are getting $990 for unemployment. Talking into the sub thing, a lot of people now will not be able to draw sub money because they're drawing too much money. And I know a lot of people with some stuff put out from the benefit people and other people, a lot of people did a very good job about not signing up for their sub because it did cause an overpayment for some people. We have, myself and Rick has had conversation with the plant about recovering this overpayment, and I think it's going to be done in a manner that I think we'll all be happy with. Unfortunate, but we'll be happy with it down in the future on that. But the sub pay, now a lot of questions are still asked about the sub credits. From what we understand, International and Cindy Estrada is working to try to get this changed. And as of now, they will still take a sub credit where you get money or not, because you're eligible. One thing we did learn within probably the last hour, the sub fund people notified the plant notified us, that the sub people went ahead, and people that filed for sub and put $390, they went ahead and put the extra $600 in there in your application. So it would save probably, he told us today, it saved maybe 2,000 people an overpayment. So that's some good news. I know people were, the unknown, that's scary. And when you're out there, we're not drawing no money, it's even more scary. So hopefully the money's starting to come in, and our goal is to get back to work here soon. If you have any questions, get a hold of your benefit people on the sub or in unemployment. We will help any way we can. Thank you.
All right, I'm going to start off with maybe where I left off about masks. That's still in place. We'll be wearing masks, and there's going to have a lot of changes through. You will be getting some information out of Detroit from the company, and they're going to be using a little screening tool. It's a questionnaire with 5 questions on it. And they'll have a thermometer that you put on your forehead and check what your temperature is. Now, in order for you to be able to come back to work, you have to answer these questions, those 5 questions, and you have to answer them with a no. If you don't, and you answer them with a yes, you're not going to be allowed to work that day. There's some different issues that could come up out of it that we're still looking into. I will cover the questions real quick. Have you experienced a fever, cough, sore throat, diarrhea, or difficulty breathing? When you took your temperature within the last, was their temperature 100.4 or higher? Have you traveled by airplane international with us in the past 14 days? Have you traveled outside the state within the past 14 days? Have you been in close contact, that would be 6 foot, minutes at a time, with a person who has been confirmed with the corona? And have you been instructed to self-quarantine in the past 14 days? Again, I don't want you to lie on there. I want you to tell the truth. I hate it that people are going to lose some time, but we've just got to, if we're going to beat this thing, we got to fight it right, and that's one of the ways you can fight it. Now, when you get into the plants, you'll be given at KTP, they're going to give you your mask and your gloves inside the plant. And There's a variety of different gloves. If you don't have to use them on your job and yourself, you may not, or you still might use the hospital gloves or whatever the company is going to provide you with. So certainly you want to do it and make it as safe as possible. Again, let me make this just as clear as I can. If you're sick, don't go to work. Just use the normal call-in procedure, and we'll deal with it with that. We've asked the company if they would waiver the 30 minutes, as we know we're going to have a lot of people calling in. I think they're going to work with us on that. They said they would work with us, so we'll go with that. Now, part of it today is that when we get done here today, I want you to send your questions into our website so that we can look them up and answer them. I've got several questions now, and I'm going to go ahead and read them and give you the answers as best as we can. This medical questionnaire I was asked, or we were asked, is it within the HIPAA guidelines? And the answer to that is that it was reviewed by the company medical departments, and this information was reviewed by HR and the plant medical staff, and it is within those guidelines. Will COVID testing be able at the plant, or be available at the plant? At this point, it has not, and I'm not rocks at the company, but my personal opinion is, and I'm going to continue to ask for it, that we test each and every one that goes into the plant every week. Again, I haven't got any positive or negative replies on the company on that, but I'm not going to let it go. For my purposes, I think that's the safest way we can get our people back to work. We'll see what happens on that. But trust me, I'm not going to let it go. Security will be giving PPE packets when we return. Again, they'll be doing that up in front of the when you come in the plant, so it's not going to be security. It'll probably be our supervisors. Will we be required to fill questionnaire? Yes, employees must fill it out. Are there partial crews being brought back? Will this be done by regarding skilled and non-skilled? We're working on that with the company diligently to find out which route to take. They know what the contract says, and that's what we've told them, that we want to honor the contract. There's some things on the coding on the layoffs. If we could get them to move to what I would think would help out for the company as well as us, we'll get that resolved, but I'll have to come back on that question. Will we be allowed to wear made masks? No. We can only use the mask that's given to us by the company. How is social distance of 3 feet? The CDC is recommending 6 foot. The 3 foot is when you have a mask on, 6 foot without a mask. That's from the CDC. There'll be more break tables and larger areas for teams. There's a lot more tables at KTP. ITP1's working on it. I haven't seen anything down in Tipton that would lead me to believe that, but I'm sure they'll get on it. And you're going to see centerpieces in, so where you had 6 people at, and you don't have a 6 foot room or 3 foot, there'll be plexiglass dividing everything. So we're going to see how that works out. Hopefully it does. Are we going to 8 hours? I can't answer that. I know there has been a lot of conversation on it. We've been involved in on it, but the company hasn't put out just how they're going to do things. I know when we come back, I'm assuming we'll come back on whatever shifts we were on, and then we'll see a lot of it's sales. The sales, what we're looking at to get us back, we got to make sure we're selling cars, right? If we're selling cars, then we'll bring more people back. Especially the 9-speed, we haven't got a whole lot of information going on that. You can use a QR code for your evaluation. Now, I'm not exactly sure how that works, but it's on your smartphones, and it looks like a puzzle, and I'm sure that what it is, you can help those out there, because I got no idea. We tried to find it on Jerry's flip phone, but it just wasn't there, so we did the best we could on that. The hourly employees were informed per video that they're to change their mask at lunchtime. When we were informed that one mask will last a shift, adding a second. You don't have to change that mask. It's up to you, but they're going to make sure you have two. If you feel comfortable with your mask, then I'm assuming it's going to be okay. Air ducts. Were the air ducts and vents cleaned? Air ducts are not known route of transmission of the virus, so no, there has not, at this point, had no studies have been performed. What do we do if we observe an employee with fever, but they do not want the medical attention? You have to let your conscience lead you on that. I don't want anybody getting into an argument with somebody else over whether they thought they were sick or not. I would ask you as the membership, if you know that you don't feel well, that you know something is going on, that you wouldn't come to work. But it's certainly up to you. I don't want people telling on people. With the cleaning going on in the plant, has Caravan been doing any cleaning of machinery? No. No. The company says there's no chance of the COVID-19 virus to withstand any longer than an average of 4 days on metal. And all other high-touch services through the plant to that point have been disinfected, and they continue to do that. I know there's discussion out there about non-union janitors. At this point, we've kept them out of the plant as best we know. We worked with the janitors union business agent. You got to give us a long list, and we sent it up to Detroit to see if they can stop that in Detroit as well. The bottom line is this. We don't know when we're coming back. I feel like there's a chance that the 8-speed and 1-speed would be back on the 11th of May. And I think the way we'll know that that's possibly going to happen as if we get more trades in there and they start firing the lines up. I just want you to know that Jerry nor myself or anybody else keeps any secrets. Whenever we get the information, we'll try to get it out to you. But like I said from the start, we get this on Monday. Tuesday it changed, and I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. So when we can put something together, we put it together. I appreciate the great leadership in this union, great membership. We have faith in you guys. I know when we come back, it's going to be safe, and we're still going to build the best transmissions with quality. It's just going to be a different world, and we're going to have to adapt to a lot of changes. Basically, that's all I got. Thank you for your time. Whatever questions you send in, I'll try, and again, I will try, along with Jerry, to have all those questions answered by Friday. Thank you.
Questions has been brought to me and Rick's attention today for some other people is how will people receive the thing that Rick was talking about, the little thermometer and the questionnaire. I know they want to go to an app, but as of this afternoon, Brad Clark and his staff told us that Detroit will be sending them to everybody's home. So we've already had calls today. Like I say, how are we going to receive them? They will be getting them from Detroit. So hopefully you have an up-to-date address in the system, because them things will be sent to your house. Thank you.